Angeles Lakers sitting on the best record in the NBA at 24-3. And as a fun reminder, this is LeBron's 17th season, which makes the fact that he's leading the NBA in assists for the first time in his career that much more impressive. And oh, by the way, he's played in every game so far. Here's LeBron on the theme of this season, load management.
If I'm healthy, I play.
That's just going to be your approach all year?
I mean, that should be the approach. I mean, unless we're getting to, like, late in the season, we've clinched and we can't get any better or any worse. And, it could benefit from that. But, I mean, why wouldn't I play if I'm healthy? It doesn't make any sense to me, personally. I mean, I don't know how many games I got left in my career. I don't know how many kids that may show up to a game that they're to come see me play, and if I sit out, then what? That's my obligation. My obligation is to play for my teammates, and if I'm healthy, then I'm gonna play. If coach sits me out, then I'm not healthy, and it's just that simple.
A little dig at Kawhi there during the press conference. You think, Nick, that LeBron should take a page out of Kawhi's book and consider load management with where he is in his career and how hard he's been going so far this season?
No. Kawhi's book is its own book and needs to be, I mean, you said it, the theme of the season's been load management because of one guy. And it's hurt the standing of the league. It's hurt television ratings. I think for the average fan, they think the whole league's engaging in this when they're not. It's one guy who happens to be the reigning finals MVP. LeBron's approach is, of course, the correct one and has been his approach throughout his career. Aside from last year, where he suffered a major injury, there's only been one season where LeBron missed major time. His first year back in Cleveland, where he missed a 2-week stretch dealing with a knee injury. Now, it became a bit of a punchline because while he was dealing with it, he went to see Ohio State win the national title, but he missed 8 games in a row dealing with a knee injury. Other than that, LeBron plays 76 games a year at a minimum every year. That's what he's done for the better part of 17 years. The team that invented load management, the Spurs, with Tim Duncan played 74 and 77 games in years 17 and 18. Dirk Nowitzki played 77 games in year 20. The initial load management was, you don't have to play all 82. It's foolish to play when we're on our 3rd game in 4 nights and you're a long-term veteran and you might have a bit of a lingering something. Take the night off. There is no extra machismo and I've got to play all 82. But the idea that we would go from where it was, you should play 80+ to where it became, which is 75 is a reasonable number, to Kawhi's missed 8 of 28. He's missed a higher percentage than last year when he only played 60 games. It would be devastating for the sport if other people took this approach. And Danny, I appreciate what LeBron said at the end there where he said, I don't know what little kid came to see me play. If you watch them play in Atlanta, wasn't a little kid, it was a grown man right behind the Lakers bench in a LeBron jersey, ostensibly from Atlanta. They play there once a year. He probably bought those tickets 4 months ago. And if LeBron that night, even as a grown-up, for that fan who is what makes all this possible, if LeBron says, I'm taking the night off, that's the worst moment of the guy's sports year instead of the best. He understands his responsibility to the league in a way that the vast majority of our superstars also do. One happens not to.
This might be one of the favorite things I've ever heard come out of his mouth, because I think it is sending a message league-wide. And I do think this was more problematic a few years ago when it was kind of becoming a status symbol. Oh, I'm good enough. I can sit over here, take the night off. I can, load manage. I can take a rest, and I can do that. You'd sit over there in in your nice looking suit. It would be a status symbol. It was kind of a cool thing to do.
And what you're talking about was it was a really tough spot for the league because the 2 best teams in the West, the Spurs, who were the first team to do it, and then the Warriors, when they had KD, knew they were just going to coast through the regular season. So you had the 2 best teams in the Premier Conference, both teams engaging in it, which is where it really started to catch hold.
And then Adam Silver sends a stern message to the league, which everybody pretty much abided by except for Kawhi Leonard. But ultimately where we've come now is where Adam Silver can do he can try to do everything. He can try to send letters. He can try to send warnings. He can try to send messages. It has to come from the players themselves that realize for the health of the game, we need to go out there and we need to play when we're capable of playing. And it can't become a thing. It can't be a status symbol. And that's where I appreciate LeBron, as the face and the voice of the NBA, sending a message to every player out there that might be considering this. If he can do it, then I can too, because that's really where the message has to come from. It has to come from the players. And if LeBron's out there voicing that message, it's going to resonate throughout the league.
LeBron is much more of a team ambassador, a league ambassador than Kawhi is. All Kawhi really cares about is, can I be there for my team, or, you know, what about winning the title for this team right now, whatever it takes. And LeBron cares about the integrity of the league and people coming to watch him and all of it. It's a much bigger conversation with him.
I agree with the LeBron point. The Kawhi thing, we'll see. I mean, the whole, I mean, you know what would have helped the Clippers? If they had beaten the Bulls the other night in a 3-point loss when Kawhi sat out his 8th game of 28 games. So I understand that what we've decided with Kawhi, which is the whole reason this is a conversation this year, that no, what he's doing is actually the selfless thing. And some other shows will discuss, is LeBron being selfish by playing? Is he stat chasing? Is he doing these things? As opposed to, you show up to work when you're healthy to play. To show up to work, which has been the constant in all work, is sports or otherwise, since work.
It's
like, I mean,
and
since we were hunter-gatherers, if you can hunt and gather, you go do it.
And
so
you get an off season, you have off days. There are times
and
to
nobody's
rest.
saying you got to be all 82.
No.
Nobody's arguing that.
That's very funny. Back to the NFL now. The Chiefs picked up their 4th straight win. Thomas with the smooth over-the-shoulder, one-handed, make-it-look-easy catch.
Is it the gloves again? Nick, is it the
That's
gloves?
just a great catch. He's going to shatter the record.
He absolutely is going to shatter the record. And the thing, Jenna, you noticed it, he just makes it look so easy, like makes it look routine. That's what great athletes do in this spot, just to haul it in there. Make it look simple.
NBA now, Pistons, Wizards. Derrick Rose driving, throwing the no-look to Thon Maker for the easy slam.
The Pistons not having a great year. Derrick Rose, however, once again, this third act for Derrick Rose has been a pleasure to watch. Thon Maker on his 2nd team, 3rd team. I loved him in the draft. I thought Milwaukee got a steal. I was wrong on that.
Suns and Blazers, Kelly Oubre driving past our guy C.J. McCollum, delivers the left-handed tomahawk.
Man, we've seen Kelly Oubre show up a couple times on here. He's starting to show up more and more often in these highlight reels.
This was, if you stayed up late, this was a fantastic finish. Another good game from Melo. A very important win for Portland as they're trying to claw their way back to 500. Exciting and one for Dame at the end of the game.
Mavs and Bucks, Kristaps Porzingis climbing over Giannis for the slam.
Kristaps was showing some range last night, a couple from deep behind the arc, and this game got a little close late too. Giannis almost brought him back for the win. That was an ugly loss for the Bucks.
Unbelievable. The Bucks at home. Giannis drops 48. The Mavs don't have Luka, and they lose. It would have seemed impossible. That's a great win for Dallas without Luka.
All right, moving on. The Cleveland Browns suffered another loss Sunday, this time to Arizona. Among the many lowlights, another tough outing for Baker Mayfield, a sideline blow-up between Jarvis Landry and head coach Freddie Kitchens, and now this, a recent report stating multiple Browns players, including Jarvis and Odell, yelled at the Arizona sideline to, quote, "come get me," after the game. Freddie Kitchens said he didn't care about his future as the Browns head coach. And yesterday, he had to walk that back.
Let me clarify, since I care about my job, all right? I only care, though, about getting better today. That's what I was trying to illustrate, is I'm only focused on today, on getting this football team to play the best of their ability today and to increase those chances of us getting to that point on Sunday. The only thing I was trying to illustrate is the fact that I'm only concerned about what we're doing as a football team today. All right, and that's it. Of course I want to be back. That's, I mean, yeah.
Nick, why does it feel like the wheels are coming off this team as they inch closer to ending the season? Do you think the Browns should clean house and build again around Baker?
Well, yes, obviously they should clean house. And that means, I think clean house means fire the head coach. The general manager, John Dorsey, his job's going to be safe, but he's now on far more tenuous footing than anyone could have anticipated going into this year, because one thing Dorsey, the best thing on his resume with the Browns was, I picked Baker Mayfield. That looked amazing a year ago. It obviously right now looks far more questionable, even if I still believe in Baker's ability to turn this around. But for the Browns, this has been the worst case scenario season. Baker looks terrible. More on that in a bit. The locker room does appear to officially be falling apart, with the reports that Odell a month and a half ago was saying during the games in October, come get me to opponents. Jarvis now reportedly, according to Mike Silver, echoing those statements against the Arizona Cardinals. They don't have any direction. I mean, just a few weeks ago, the best player on their team thumped an opposing quarterback in the head with his helmet. That seems like it's a footnote. The head coach, of course, then wore the Pittsburgh started-it shirt. Like, all of this has been a comedy of errors for Cleveland. The only silver lining, Danny, is because they've lost 2 of their last 3, because they are now de facto eliminated from the postseason, I believe they absolutely will move on from Freddie Kitchens, which